Hey guys, today we have a Kohler generator we're going to be taking a look at, so we got to kind of crawl into the depths. Here we go. This is a large Carver, I believe 57. Um, and the generator's all the way in the forepart of the engine room, which you can get in from the back. So we'll be going in and kind of exploring that today. We'll be doing a water pump and a belt.
Okay, so it looks like
When we start any job that requires raw water passages to be open, we close the through hole. So here I am locating and closing it.
right there. Through holes off. Let's get ready. Bags. Rags, more rags. That's a 7 and an 8.
So we're going to disconnect the raw water inlet. So what I'm going to do here is put a little bag under it, check the bag for any kind of tears or holes beforehand so that when we get seawater coming out of this hose, it doesn't pour onto the generator for an easier cleanup. And it's an 8mm from factory, if it's still factory.
Let's undo our water inlet.
So holding the pump on, we've got 3 bolts that come in from the timing cover on the front of the generator from where the belts are. And I believe they are 3 13mm bolts. As long as they're factory, sometimes when you have aftermarket kits like this, the bolt sizes will change, which I believe on the kit I had to change out 1 bolt. It just depends on the generator you have. This kit is designed for multiple generators. So I've loosened our lower hose clamp, which is actually the wrong size. It seems to be about a 28. We're going to be pulling off the old water pump now here and letting the water drain back into that bag that I got originally. Now this pump has been upgraded at one point, but we're going to be putting a new kit on it as well today.
That hose clamp is very much the wrong clamp.
So this kit number is GM59333, and this works for a 13 kilowatt to a 23 kilowatt EOZ. You're going to have a bunch of stuff in here. You see this bag, it's got bolts and spacers and such, and then you're going to have a bracket box as well as your water pump in there. Unfortunately, the GoPro didn't show me reassembling the pump on the bracket, but it is 2 simple bolts with nuts on them. As far as this, I re-tidied up, kind of putting it back together. The belt's not on, nothing's on, but I did get a new hose clamp for the lower since it was way too big. I put the right size hose clamp on. You're going to see that I'm going to start tightening up bolts here in a second. Just note that you won't always use all of the spacers, nor will you use all of the new bolts. It depends which generator you have, because this kit is for so many different generators. So on this one I had to use a new lower bolt, but the 2 upper bolts for the timing cover were original, and I only had to use a spacer on the lower bolt.
There we go.
So now we're going to start taking the alternator belt off. To do this, there is a 13mm adjustment bolt on top, which you'll see right here. And once you loosen that, then what you do is you pull on the belt and the alternator will slide over and you can get the belt right off. And as I look at the belt, you can see all the belt dust coming off on my hand, so the belt is just shredding. So it's at this point I realize that the belt I have is not the right size. It's what it says on Kohler's website for what the right belt is, but they're not the same belts. Unfortunately, the next part of the footage is basically me running the engine because I had to go and grab a belt and my battery died, so it didn't record anything of me putting the new belts on. But basically, you just tension the alternator and tension the water pump, and then we can start running the generator. So we'll get to that here pretty shortly. Okay, well, we put the new belts on, open the through hole, started up the generator. We're going to run it, check for any kind of leaks, any kind of issues with our water pump and our belts. Unfortunately, I didn't show you guys how to put the belt back on. That footage didn't exist because the GoPro ran on a battery. But now I just kind of go through, look on the different sides of the generator, feel thermostat, feel the heat exchanger, feel the valve cover, make sure there's no funky heat going on anywhere, any smells, anything like that. And it seems to be a good running generator. Here I try to move the controller, but actually the controller is not working. None of the buttons are functioning to show me different things. So now I'm just going to put the last piece of the sound shield back on,
and then be done.
kind of wrap everything up, just getting kind of everything out of the way. After this, I just kind of clean up and call it good. We ran the generator, didn't see any leaks, didn't see any problems. Because this generator's so tight, you know, it's hard to get the sound shield in and out. So just letting you guys know, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We're just trying to start growing. If you have any questions or any kind of issues, give me a call. It would be greatly appreciated if you leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Alrighty, see you next video.